track 5, The Autumn Silence. Okay, this one is interesting because this was Anastasia's first shot at writing lyrics. She came prepared with these lyrics, so I did not write the majority of this track. When I listened to it, or when I read through it initially, perhaps I'm not qualified to talk on other people's songs, but this will be my interpretation. Very Salem witchcraft type of thing. We have apparently a small village, and somebody being the character in the song being perhaps accused of being a witch and threatening being executed. So I think Anastasia, with some of her songs, she tended to deal with alienation, and I think part of her, at that point in her life, part of it was kind of outsider type of thing going on. I mean, she was very unique for that time period. Now her uniqueness as of the mid 90s, today a little bit more, with all the tattoos and the whole gothic look, was very few and far between at that time, and she really stood out in the crowd. Today, not so much. Lots of people doing those type of things, but the statement she was making back then was very reflective of, I think, how she felt as a young girl. So I think in this song she seems to be relating to the persecution, perhaps from the society around her, and just like the character is, again, being condemned, and she puts it in this kind of fantasy, again, almost kind of horrific witchcraft type scenario, like what it must have been like in Salem or whatever during the witch trials, which this song very much reminds me of. It has a very kind of soft but yet menacing quality to it. I remember she didn't have enough words to finish the song, and she wasn't very good at coming up with impromptu stuff on the spot. So I remember I filled in the last verse, which perhaps may be the weakest of it. I mean, it just because it was, we wanted to finish the song, and the song needed more lyrics, so I kind of threw something together on the spot that tried to make it fit in a little more with what she was saying, but somehow the last verse doesn't quite fit the feel, but her singing does, so it comes together as a whole. Yeah, it kind of has this strange, mellow, haunting type of sound, and it really is a track that I like a lot on Echoes of the Decline, and I was really proud of her that she came through with these lyrics, and the lyric writing was something that I did always support her. I always was in support of her writing more lyrics for Savior's Sect, because I really thought that while she was very quiet, I felt a lot was going on inside of her, that if she could spill that out even further than she was doing with this kind of fantasy type song, I really felt if she would do almost what I was doing and really throwing her emotions into things, I really felt that she could make a great impact, and I knew she had it in her. I knew that it was there. It was just, waiting to be discovered, and it would take at least one more demo to get it out. And I was indeed right that she would have this potential. But this is an early glimpse. The Autumn Silence, an early glimpse of this. And I remember having the title, The Autumn Silence. Anastasia never titled her songs. She would always come down and, what's the title of this one? Oh, it doesn't have a title. So I would usually end up titling her pieces, and I would do that usually by feel of the song, and then a title would kind of come to me once everything was together, and I would say, okay, yeah, this song sounds like this. But I think in this case, I think I had been kicking around the title, The Autumn Silence, and like as a potential thing to write, and I just felt like this, because of this whole, I could picture the whole New England kind of imagery that she was putting forth here, taking place in kind of the autumn, kind of a very kind of Halloween type of feel again. It kind of gave it kind of that like almost movie like horror movie type devilish image, the autumn, with the leaves changing and the old farmhouses and the whole 9 yards that I would associate or equate with that country, the New England countryside or something. So it was The Autumn Silence I felt was a fitting title, though it that never occurs in the song, those words. It just feels that there would be silence after this execution, with the winds blowing and the leaves, and it just everything. A whole lot of Savior Sec was about sheer emotion and poetry and a romantic take on things. Underneath all of the doom and gloom, there was always this kind of romantic undercurrent sweeping through the songs. Which brings us to the sixth